24/7 Fusion Media.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy 24/7 here with 24/7 Fusion Media, and I'm not sure how this flew by my radars, but I haven't heard or seen anybody talk about this. That looks like a Collider got a hold of Nathan Fillion, and this is basically his first interview since being named Guy Gardner. And he kind of fills us in on what's going on with the whole Guy Gardner Green Lantern being a part of Superman's movie. You know, he sheds a little light on it, and I thought it'd be cool to see what he says in this conversation. Superman's Nathan Fillion loves how flawed Guy Gardner Green Lantern is. Like I said, it's an exclusive coming from Collider. And yeah, it's a horrible picture. All right, so as it states here, Fillion recalled the moment during the premiere party of the Suicide Squad. He said, "We were actually at the premiere party after Suicide Squad, and he was in a huge crowd of people. We saw each other in the crowd, and I congratulated him. Oh my God, that was amazing. It was so great." He goes, "Hey, did Peter Safran tell you what we've got for you next?" I said, "No, he hasn't said." He looked around like someone was going to be listening. So we were in a throng of people, but he leaned over and said, "You're going to be Guy Gardner." Wow, just like that, huh? Interesting. Said Fillion expressed great admiration for Gunn's unique style and approach to storytelling, which has significantly influenced his perspective on comic book adaptations. Right. In my mind, it just says this guy is just firing on different cylinders, and we're taking things in different directions, and that's what makes his stuff so satisfying and so fun to watch. He's got different ideas, and they're so worthy, Fillion noted. He recalled his early experiences with comic books, which did not always resonate with him, and how Gunn's portrayal of Guardians of the Galaxy completely transformed his views. So what he's saying, that he had not a great experience with comic books when he was younger? Is that what he's saying here? That's interesting. All right, so let's see what his connection to comic books were back in the day. Okay, so I used to collect comic books. I had a comic book rack in my room that you could spin. I wish I had a spinner rack. I remember Guardians of the Galaxy, and I remember that I couldn't relate to it in any way. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, basically, if you understood the concept of it's the future, and what you're seeing is the new heroes rise from the ashes of the old. And some of them were, you know, descendants. Some of them were people that have taken up the mantle somewhere for some reason, and is now the new, you know, hero, you know, of days past. And, you know, it was interesting to see the interaction of the future Wolverine, the future Captain America, the future Punisher, you know, mixed along with brand new characters that people have never seen before. So it was, you know, for the Guardians of the Galaxy was basically Marvel's version of the Legion of Superheroes. And if anybody understands the Legion of Superheroes, they're basically the Justice League of the future. You know, they are what's left of the superheroes, you know, in what, the 30th century or some shit like that? I can't remember. But somewhere in the future. Basically, it was the same concept for Guardians of the Galaxy. But I guess he wasn't feeling that. Okay. He says, he just couldn't get into it for any reason. He says, Spider-Man held something for me. Batman had something that I really liked inside. The X-Men, I couldn't get enough. But Guardians, that movie moved me. Those movies made me feel things. and not just cry about feeling joy and feeling connections and feeling the love. It's about family. It's so much about family. I just think that's what James Gunn does best. He says he's thinking of something else that we're all thinking of, and he just makes it so much better, and he just makes things that matter to us all. Okay, it's good to see that Nathan Fillion has pretty deep admiration for James Gunn's work, and you know, a lot of people do enjoy what he brings. I am very skeptical about what's going to happen with this Superman movie, but I'm just ready to see what Nathan Fillion is saying here. Fillion also discussed the broader implications of taking on such a significant role, emphasizing the long-term connection and engagement it promises. So it sounds like he's going to be sticking around to being Guy Gardner, possibly doing a lot of cameos and, you know, different things like that. Okay, for an actor, the fear of being forgotten is always a relevant and potent one, and roles like Green Lantern ensure continued visibility and relevance. Yeah, I could understand that. Constantly, the worst thing to happen to someone in my position as an actor is to be forgotten, and people like James Gunn keep doing things that make it impossible for people to forget that we're out here and we're telling stories. Okay, yeah, I get that. That's, you know, I guess it's cool that James Gunn has been sticking around with this dude for what, the last 15, 20 years? Putting him in different movies, different projects, you know, different ways to keep him working, you know, and keep him in the public's eye with different roles. Yeah, it's, you know, it's cool. I get it. He's on an incredible journey, and he keeps turning around and saying to me, come on, let's go. Yeah, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with, you know, taking your friends along for the ride, especially if, you know, they've been there with you the whole time. You might as well take the journey together, right? Especially if, you know, you guys are friends and nobody's fucking each other over. Shit, take it to the top. Lastly, Fillion touched on why he feels particularly suited to play Guy Gardner Green Lantern. The reality is that people have flaws. We all have quirks. We all have vulnerabilities. You could have the most wonderful family, but be like, oh my God, my dad drives me nuts. He's got this one thing. Everybody's got something. And I love to lean on those faults and flaws. It's what makes people real and what allows audiences to relate, because we all know what that is. And that's true. You know, everybody has something to them. You know, it's nobody's perfect. So yeah, and that's what makes us people. That's what makes us real. That's what makes us individuals. So I definitely get that. We all have our own. We witness it in other people. Guy Gardner's 90% flawed and doesn't care. That's one of his flaws. I think that's a real freedom in playing that. So for a guy who likes to play flaws and flawed people, Guy Gardner is a gold mine. Oh, all right. Well, hopefully he has the hair color and everything else. And, you know, and hopefully James Gunn lets fucking Nathan Fillion read some Guy Gardner comic books, all right? So you can get the feel of the fucking character. Oh, I'm gonna tell you something. For a guy that likes to make superhero movies but doesn't want anybody to read the source material or where these characters come from, to me that's complete and utter horseshit. Who the fuck does that? Who the fuck says, oh, you know what? I want to make a Superman movie, but everybody that's involved, do not read a Superman comic. Do not read anything on Lois Lane. Do not read anything about Ma Pa Kent or just the whole world building surrounding that character. No, don't read anything about it. We're just gonna make this shit up as we go. And what am I talking about? Fuck, he did that with Peacemaker and John Cena. So if he'll do that with Peacemaker and John Cena, then what the fuck makes you think he wouldn't do it with the Suicide Squad or with Guy Gardner or, you know, and shit like that? James Gunn, he knows that if he fucks over Superman, the comic book movie community is not gonna let his ass back in through the door. So he needs to fucking figure out what he's doing, and how does Guy Gardner fit into all this? Who knows, right? But we'll be seeing how this all goes. And we'll be seeing Superman in theaters July 11th, 2025. We'll be seeing this shit soon, but it's good to see that Nathan Fillion is, he's getting into being into the role of Guy Gardner. We'll see how he does it, and hopefully he plays the part correctly. And he seems like he knows who Guy Gardner is, so hopefully he can work with that and make it into his own, and that way we can see a good Guy Gardner while we trying to figure out why the fuck is he in the Superman movie. But that's my take. That's how I feel. You guys, let me know what you think about Nathan Fillion and what he's saying about James Gunn and how he's feeling about being Guy Gardner. Like I said, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. And as always, it's your boy 24/7 here with 24/7 Fusion Media. And I'm out. Peace.